They don't realize your value when you're standing in front of them. They realize it when you walk away, when your silence becomes louder than your presence ever was. You don't make them obsessed by giving them attention. You make them obsessed by withdrawing it. When you leave, calm, quiet, unbothered, you become a mystery, and people are addicted to mysteries. They'll stalk your page, reread old messages, try to decode your silence like it's a language. That's where your power begins. When they can't read you, they start to imagine you, and the mind always exaggerates what it can't understand. Machiavelli knew this centuries ago. He said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." In the modern world, that means this: it's better to be respected in absence than taken for granted in presence. Every relationship is a battle for emotional leverage. Whoever cares less controls more. That sounds cruel, but it's human nature. Dark psychology isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding what drives behavior. When you pull away, you trigger what psychologists call the fear of loss, the primal panic of no longer being chosen. That fear activates obsession, because the human brain hates losing what it once possessed. This is why when you walk away correctly, with silence, composure, and confidence, you become the scarcity they can't replace. They'll scroll through options, but none of them will hit the same, because you've become the standard, and they can't move on without comparing. Let's talk about what really drives obsession: the void. The moment you disappear, you leave a void in their emotional system. That void demands closure, but you give them none. No goodbye, no warning, no reaction, just emptiness. And because humans crave closure, they start looping through memories, trying to fill that silence with answers. That's when the obsession begins. They'll start replaying every last conversation, analyzing every detail, asking themselves, did I mess up? Are they seeing someone else? Why don't they care anymore? Their curiosity becomes anxiety. Their anxiety becomes obsession. That's the Machiavellian principle of psychological scarcity in action. You've created a story they can't stop trying to finish. Silence is your weapon. In an era where everyone overshares, silence is dominance. It unsettles people. It exposes their insecurity. When you say nothing, they fill the silence with their fears. They start imagining conversations that never happened. They project guilt, shame, regret, all onto you. Machiavelli understood this dynamic. He believed that mystery builds fear, and fear maintains control. When you go silent, they realize how much noise you once provided, and that absence starts to echo louder than any words could. So, instead of posting about your pain, post your peace. Instead of trying to prove you've moved on, act like you already have. Because nothing drives someone crazier than watching you stay unbothered when they expected you to break. Here's where you separate yourself from the average person who disappears. You don't just walk away, you transform. While they're wondering where you went, you're leveling up. Hit the gym, fix your sleep, upgrade your style, start a new hustle, redefine your image. Machiavelli would call this the art of reinvention. He believed that to keep power, a ruler must constantly evolve. So evolve. Let your glow-up speak louder than your absence. When they see you again, online or in person, you should look like the version of yourself they always wanted, but can no longer have. That's the ultimate form of revenge, transformation without explanation. And when they try to come back, they'll realize you're not the same person who left. You've become their biggest what if. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop being controlled by what you care about. It's the highest form of emotional power, to be connected but never controlled. You train it by resisting the urge to react. When they text you, don't rush to reply. When they post something to provoke you, don't take the bait. Your calmness is their chaos. Machiavelli said, "A wise ruler should act both as the fox and the lion. The fox to recognize traps, the lion to scare off threats. In this context, the fox is your logic. The lion is your silence. You must learn to move like both. Clever but cold, strategic but stoic. Because emotion is leverage, and whoever keeps their cool keeps control. After you've disappeared and rebuilt, you reappear, but strategically, not by texting them, not by chasing closure, but through subtle moves that reawaken their curiosity. A mysterious story, a quote that feels personal, a glimpse of a new life. You're not trying to prove you've moved on. You're showing them that you evolved past the version of yourself that needed them. That's when the tables turn. They'll reach out, they'll test the waters, they'll try to trigger the old you, but you don't bite. You stay calm, composed, distant. You've become the enigma they can't decode. Here's something Machiavelli would have loved about the 21st century. Perception is everything. When people see you as wanted, they want you more. When people see you as calm and confident, they project value onto you. You don't have to fake success. Just show discipline, consistency, growth. Let people wonder how you did it, because when they can't figure you out, they obsess. This is why Machiavelli warned princes to always appear strong even when they're not, because appearance is power, and in the modern world, your image is your kingdom. Now we come to the final move. No closure. They'll want to know why you left. They'll want to fix it. They'll want to talk. Don't. Because the moment you explain yourself, you give them comfort. And comfort kills curiosity. Let the story remain unfinished. Let their guilt write the ending. They'll never get closure. And that's the hook that keeps them obsessed. You become the ghost that haunts their ego. Every new person they date will be compared to you. Every song, every location, every smell will remind them of you. And yet, they'll never be able to go back, because you're not there anymore. That's Machiavellian mastery. Winning without revenge, haunting without trying, moving on without losing power. You want to know how to truly make them obsessed after you leave. Don't chase validation. Chase transformation. Because the truth is, when you level up, everyone who doubted you will eventually watch in silence. They'll pretend not to notice, but deep down they'll feel it. And that feeling and that mix of regret, envy, and curiosity, that's obsession. Remember this: you don't win by being loved or hated. You win by being remembered, disappear, rebuild, return reborn. That's how Machiavelli would move in the age of social media, not with revenge, not with validation, but with psychological dominance built on silence, power, and evolution.